Bill de Blasio is the mayor of New York City. I remember when he was considered way too progressive. That guy's a radical progressive. He, wants to actually increase taxes on the rich and give it to the middle class and give them a fair chance. What a radical guy. He has no chance of winning. And I remember when he was, I think, polling at third place in the Democratic primary in New York, I came out on this show and said, he's going to win the race. He's going to win the primary and he's going to win the election. Go back and check the tapes. When he was in third, I said, because if you run as a real progressive, you win. Not Monday morning quarterback. I said it ahead of time. Okay? You want to see a clip of me bragging, go on YouTube, type in de Blasio, you'll see it. Okay? Now, in this case, again, it's not a Monday morning quarterback. De Blasio ran on this and won on this. So he's coming out after the elections and saying, what did I tell you guys? Okay? You got to run as progressives. It's not that hard. Now, to be fair, de Blasio only won by getting 73.3% of the vote. You say, oh, New York City, it's liberal. Really? But Rudy Giuliani, a really die-hard right-wing Republican, was the mayor of New York City for a long time. And then Republican/independent Bloomberg was also the mayor of New York City for a long time. So apparently Republicans can definitely win that race, but not against de Blasio. They got annihilated. So you might want to listen to this guy. So here's what he said in an op-ed. He said, as a Democrat, I'm disappointed in the last Tuesday's results, but as a progressive, I know my party need not search for its soul, but rather its backbone. So he's right. Right now is when they do soul searching. What soul do you have to search? Please spare me. Okay, it's not that complicated. You look at every major poll on almost every issue in the country, and Americans are anywhere from moderately progressive to massively progressive. In the reddest states in America, minimum wage passed with overwhelming margins, 65-35, 69-31, okay? The country's progressive and they hate income inequality. How many Democrats are on it? Almost none. He explains the few that did, and of course they are the ones who won. All right, he explains, bold progressive ideas win elections, just as Senator Al Franken, who's fought fearlessly to reign in Wall Street and won by a larger margin on Tuesday than President Obama did in Minnesota in 2012. Or Senator Jeff Merkley, who never backed away from his support for Obamacare, a federal program that is already working to reduce income inequality and promises to do more to address the inequality crisis than anything out of Washington in generations. Merkley won re-election in Oregon by 6 points more than Obama won that state in 2012. When you run as a progressive, you outperform expectations. Remember, Al Franken barely won last time around. They had to do a recount for a long, long time. So a Republican could easily win in Minnesota, have won in Minnesota in the past. Al Franken, in this case, does better than Obama. Why? Because he actually ran as a progressive. What is it going to get through their stupid heads? Okay. De Blasio continues. Then there's Governor Jerry Brown, who cruised to re-election after championing and winning a millionaire's tax that dedicated funding to California's public schools. Now, again, California is liberal. Wait a minute. Arnold Schwarzenegger, a Republican, was governor of California for a long time. We've been saddled with these crazy tax rules in California for decades because of Republicans, okay? So now Democrats are winning. Why are they winning? It's not like the same people who were voting all of a sudden became much more liberal. No, they like what they heard. Hey, you want to raise taxes on the rich? Did it ruin the economy of California? Of course not. California is the 7th largest economy in the world by itself. We're doing perfectly fine. LA's doing great, and the entertainment industry, etc. Silicon Valley and San Francisco, it's all doing wonderful. Agriculture in the middle. And we raised tax on the rich. It didn't hurt. It helped. And that's why he got an overwhelming victory, Jerry Brown did. Okay, well, now de Blasio says, of course, what a lot of people always fire back at progressives in Washington. They say critics will point to competitive Senate races in Kentucky, Arkansas, and North Carolina as places where such progressive policies would all but ensure Democrats' defeat. Our question is, how would they know? I love that. In those states, Democratic candidates didn't say much about progressive taxation, expanding health and retirement benefits, or implementing anti-poverty efforts like universal pre-K or affordable housing. I love that question. How would you know? You've never run as a progressive ever. I guarantee you that if in Arkansas, Mark Pryor talked nonstop about the minimum wage, which won overwhelmingly on a ballot measure in Arkansas, he would have done a hell of a lot better. I'll take 65 to 35 odds. That's how much it won by in Arkansas any day of the week if I'm a politician. But if I'm an idiot like Mark Pryor, and I'm a corporatist like Mark Pryor, who only cares about his funders and doesn't realize you're supposed to translate that money into an actual win, well, he doesn't care. He just wants to keep the funders happy, because even if he loses, he's going to get so rich from those guys who are going to hire him next. But if you had any sense and you cared about winning and you cared about policy, you would obviously go in a progressive direction that would help you. My God, if you ran in Arkansas or Kentucky or any of those places, I'm going to protect your Social Security. It would work. We know how much it would work because Republicans turned around and pretended to protect your Social Security at the end of these races. De Blasio talked about that as well. He said the fight against inequality isn't limited to blue states. Right now, there's a fierce battle being waged on behalf of pre-K in dark red Indiana. In Kentucky, Governor Bashir maintains wide support and popularity after publicly championing the benefits of Obamacare to the state. That's Kentucky. That's a popular Democratic governor in Kentucky. Why? Because he's in favor of Obamacare. He didn't run away from it. He ran towards it. Look, there are only two possibilities. One is they just are hooked on the money and they just can't get past whatever their donors tell them to do. They say, yes, sir, absolutely, sir. I will never work for fair opportunity for the people of my state. I will only work for you to crush the minimum wage, make sure the kids don't get an education so you can get your tax cuts, etc. That is the likely possibility, and it's systemic, that problem. The only other possibility is not something that helps them. They're incredibly, earth-shatteringly stupid. They see polls, they see Republicans running towards those issues, they see anytime a Democrat does it in the red states, it totally and utterly works, and they go, nope, I'm not going to do that. My consultant in Washington said, I should run towards the Republicans. Which one is it? Are you stupid or are you corrupt? Unfortunately, the answer might be both.